On a bleak winter day, a man who is haunted by the memory of a lost love goes for a walk, seeking solace in nature. In a park, he looks at ice sculptures. One of them strongly resembles his lost love. He enters a nearby library to get warm. A psychology book falls off of a shelf and hits him on the head. A library program is about to begin. Professor Zolta is giving a presentation with some items from his Cabinet of Curiosities. He displays a stuffed dodo bird, a brain in a jar, an automaton, a ship in a bottle, and a crystal human skull. After the program, the audience applauds. They shake his hand as they leave. The man who came in from the cold takes a closer look at the oddities. He realizes that he is standing next to his lost love. She takes his breath away. He is unable to speak. She leaves him. Professor Zolta had observed his failed interaction and leaves him alone with the mysterious crystal skull. He gazes into it. The skull glows as if filled with eerie green lightning. The eye sockets glow as if holding red-hot coal. He stands transfixed as if hypnotized by the crystal skull. The crystal skull glows, and in it is seen the world spinning. He sees a story beginning when he gazes into the skull. He sees an island in an ocean. He sees two kings standing on a bridge over the river that divides the island. King Rigo gives a speech promoting peace. King Azim gives him a rare unicorn as a symbol of their treaty of peace. The crowds on both sides of the river cheer. The two kingdoms celebrate peace. King Rigo and the Queen embrace. They give advice to their son to remember who he is and to guard his heart. The king and queen then go to have some tea. They sit at a table with Shub and his wife. Shub is the son of the former king. King Rigo warns him not to desire the crown. The king and queen drink their tea and then die. The teapot is dropped and broken, revealing a dead newt. Shub claims the crown. Shub's daughter arrives. Her name is Mirabelle. They send him to tell Prince Dax of the accident. She rides away on the unicorn. He is standing on the edge of a cliff, holding a box of candy. The unicorn charges towards Dax, pushing him over the edge. He hangs on to the edge of the cliff. Mirabelle helps him back up. Mirabelle tells Prince Dax that she has distressing news. She advises him to inhale the fragrance of a flower to ease the pain. He does so and loses his memory. While Dax is in a daze, she places his crown on her head. She then tells him that she is the princess and commands him to wander in a complicated hedge maze. He is confused and dazed, but when he finally finds the exit, he sees the princess holding a bow and arrow. Will she shoot him or the last unicorn? If she shoots the unicorn, there will be war. There's a place where everything is enchanting and serene, but if we want to, we can destroy it. Much to his surprise, she shoots the unicorn. The mortally wounded unicorn charges to impale her, but Dax jumps in the way. He sacrifices his life to save her. The horn stabs Dax in the chest, breaking off of the dying unicorn. Dax dies. She pulls the unicorn horn from his chest. His heart is impaled on it. She pulls the heart off of the horn, and the hole is magically sealed. Mirabelle places the heart in her empty candy box. She gives him a kiss and leaves. Her kiss brings Dax back to life. Princess Mirabelle approaches an enclosed garden, guarded by a mean-looking ogre. He lets her in. She drops a piece of candy. Ants fight over the chocolate candy and perish. She makes a sand castle near a pool of water. Her mood changes and she destroys it with a kick. A goldfish washes up at her feet from the pool. She looks at it with disgust. Its scales glitter in the sunlight. She replaces the goldfish. She then looks with much admiration at her reflection in the water. The golden crown upon her head falls into the water. She begins to cry. Her teardrops fall into the pool. Much to her surprise, her reflection in the water begins to speak to her. Mirabelle promises to be her friend if she will retrieve her lost crown. The reflection dives down and brings it to the surface. Princess Mirabelle thanks her, but immediately breaks her promise to be friends. She claims a right as a princess to change her mind. Dax then arrives at the gate of the garden. Gloober, the ogre, knocks him down. Dax gets up and then smiles at him. His smile is sincere, friendly, and reassuring. No one had ever smiled at the ugly ogre before. Gloober lets Dax in the garden to see Princess Mirabelle. She is surprised to see Dax alive. He explains that although she had left him breathless, her kiss had brought him back to life. Princess Mirabelle says that he can visit with her. They see a butterfly and a hummingbird. She takes the unicorn horn and waves it, and magically, time stops. Dax wants to remain suspended in time with her. She makes time go again, for it is a cold and cruel crime to hold back the hands of time. They are about to kiss when they hear a cry for help. Despite his desire to stay with her, he leaves the garden. Dax follows the cry to a hole in the ground. Dax helps a little person named Nibnab out of the hole. The hole was dug to catch an invisible monster. Dax suggests that the monster has fallen into the hole. They fill up the hole with dirt to bury the invisible monster. Dax is given a crystal skull from a box which was found while digging the hole. In the crystal skull, Dax sees a vision of his own fiery death. King Shub takes the crystal skull to spy on his subjects. Shub sends Dax to defeat a dragon, promising his daughter's hand in marriage if he succeeds. The dragon emerges from its hidden lair. The dragon's name is Zarf. Dax suggests that Zarf leave. She tells Dax that although she's concerned about her eggs laid far away, she will not leave. Dax uses the magical unicorn horn to make a force field bubble to protect him from the fiery breath of the dragon. Dax asks Mirabelle to run away with him. She offers to play a game with him. She says if he wins, she will marry him. He plays and wins, but she breaks her promise. He leaves, but his shadow remains. Mirabelle sees a black swan swimming in the pool of water. She goes to her room and throws the shadow under her bed. Wassissa serves tea. Mirabelle refuses to drink. They look for a missing earring. Princess Mirabelle throws her remaining earring out of the window of the tower. Wassissa reaches for it and falls out of the window to her death. Princess Mirabelle then admires herself in a mirror. The shadow of Dax comes out from under Princess Mirabelle's bed. The shadow waves the magical horn from the unicorn and changes her into a statue of ice. Dax arrives and then looks in wonder at the statue of ice. Dax and his shadow then fight. The suit of armor fights against Dax as the shadow watches. The shadow uses the magical horn of the unicorn to bring a suit of armor to life. Dax uses the magical unicorn horn to vanish. He reappears inside of the suit of armor. He has won. Dax changes Princess Mirabelle back to flesh and blood with his kiss. She slaps him in the face. She is angry with him and sends him to the dungeon. Princess Mirabelle picks up the unicorn horn and goes outside. King Shub is talking to a crowd. He stands next to a straw man. He intends to burn Dax in effigy, blaming him for killing the unicorn. He lights the straw man on fire. Princess Mirabelle inadvertently waves the unicorn horn, bringing the burning straw man to life. The burning man goes to the garden and speaks to Mirabelle's reflection, which remained in the pool of water. They talk about their burning love and desire. When they kiss, they turn into steam. The garden that was once lush and green is now dead. Meanwhile, down in the dark dungeon, Dax suffers. Orgo the torturer enters, and Dax questions his destructive, violent behavior. Orgo ties him to a water torture wheel. As it spins, Dax has his head submerged in a trough of water. Dax wonders if he will drown. After a while, Orgo unties Dax from the wheel. The sadistic torturer gives Dax a small lit candle and tells him that when it goes out, he will die.